Hello, welcome. Good evening to everyone. Welcome to this episode of this podcast of Action Show. Today I have a very, very special guest, an icon to the freedom movement who for uh, many years has been exposing the evil, the injustice that's happening on this planet and everything that goes on behind the scene of powers, throne of powers. Um, his name is Max Igan. Welcome to the show, Max.
Nice to be here, Axel. Thanks for having me on, brother.
No problem, absolutely. And no, I wanted to ask you a few questions and also what motivated you, what got you started to speak publicly about what's happening around the world. Tell us about a little bit about yourself.
Well, I
How
mean, I,
you,
I woke up at a very young age and was warning people about where the world's going when I was back in high school, like 50 years ago.
wow,
And I just couldn't really see things changing. I became a musician for a long time, most of my life, musician, sound engineer. And when 9/11 happened, 2001, the alleged terror attack on the World Trade Center, when this happened, this was kind of like, wow, this is the big event we've been waiting for. I mean, my whole life, I'd been working in the music industry and researching the control system was kind of a hobby for me. But when 9/11 happened and we saw them kill 2,997 people live on TV, I thought, okay, this is serious. This is the big event we've been waiting for because you research all this stuff and you know what's coming, but you don't really expect it to happen in your lifetime. But
exactly,
it
yeah,
did. When that happened, I kind of, over the period of probably the next 3 years, my interest in music became less and less, and I concentrated more on research. And around about 2005, I started hitting forums and Yahoo Chat and all this sort of stuff and trying to get the word out that way. And then eventually, when I discovered YouTube, because I thought, like YouTube, I think started in about 2005. I thought it was just a place where high school kids uploaded videos of themselves. I'd never really looked at it. And then in 2008 or 2007, I discovered there was a whole truth movement on YouTube. So I started making videos and blah, blah, blah. And ended up just doing what I'm doing. I mean, just out of necessity, it gets to a point where you can't know the stuff a lot of us know and not speak out about it because the world's heading for a hell in a handbasket. All the sleeping people are dragging us all off a cliff because they just
absolutely,
believe in what the media is feeding them and the government's doing, and they just think it's all natural and they distract everybody with television and all this shit. Now you can't see this and not say something about it because you become complicit. So
absolutely, yeah.
it was just a matter of necessity. You can't know this stuff and not say it. So it gets to a point where, there's an oncoming train and we better start jumping off the tracks, or at least calling it out and asking others to. So, yeah.
Wow, very interesting. That's crazy because I've been watching many of the videos, especially on when the pandemic started. There was a website, I think his name was Brand YouTube, something like that, where
Oh,
people
yeah.
were uploading your videos, Max, your videos as well. It was like it was interesting, and then I saw your interview with Mark Pasio. I mean, that's what even introduced me to your work. I started watching a lot of your interviews and your videos, and it's mind blowing. I really like your style. You're very on point, very very open, without mentioning any word. Very direct as people should be when there's injustice and evil happening. Uh,
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I don't do this because I want to be a celebrity or anything like that. I mean, I
of
was a
course.
musician most of my life. I used to leave the bands when they started to get a little bit of fame because I didn't want any of that celebrity shit. I'm just not into it. I'm just a quiet sort of a person, but I have a large opinion of things. And even when I started doing this, nobody knew what I looked like for 4 years. I was just a voice on the radio. There were no pictures of me on the internet. There was nothing. It wasn't until 2012 someone filmed me in Slovenia giving a talk, and I said, well, now my face is out there. So but before that, it was just radio shows. I mean, I've never wanted the fame or the fortune. So, I mean, I don't do this. A lot of people use this as an income. They use this as, they want to set themselves up as a particular authority on a certain topic or what. I'm the this guy or the that guy, and they have this agenda of I'm the guru. I'm the one with the information.
Exactly.
And I don't want to do this. I just do this because it needs to be done. People need to be talking about this honestly and openly without any agenda. Not monetizing their work. I never even monetized my YouTube channel. I can understand everybody needs to make a living. It's all okay. But when I saw them monetizing YouTube, I thought, this monetization of everything is what's wrong with the world. This is what we've been speaking out against for the last 50 damn years.
Yeah. The
And
financial
now they're
system. Yeah.
monetizing it to YouTube. So all of the truthers on YouTube are going to start thinking they're entrepreneurs. And I'm a reporter now and I'm making a living out of my work. And they're going to start sensationalizing their headlines. They're going to start producing material because they want clicks, because they want income. They're going to sever all their ties in the natural world of what they used to do. And they're going to depend on this. And then as soon as they do, if they say anything that's really truthful, YouTube's just going to cut them out. And that's
Exactly.
exactly what happened with people. So I've never monetized anything. I've never done any of this because I want fame or fortune. I've done this because it needs to be done. And there needs to be people looking at this openly and realistically without any agenda to themselves, simply calling things out for what they are. And that's what I've tried to do. And the main goal of it all is to help people remember who and what they are, because all of this is happening because people don't believe in themselves. We believe we have to succumb to authority. And all these people that
Exactly.
we elect to manage infrastructure for us in a responsible way, who have now set
Exactly.
themselves up as our rulers, and they're
Yeah.
dictating what we can and cannot do, and even what we can and cannot think now. There was a guy in
Yeah.
Australia arrested like 3 or 4 days ago for posting a meme on Facebook. He got 6 months in jail because they didn't like his meme. I mean, what is this?
Wow. Where
You
was
know,
it? Where exactly was it?
that was in Australia, I think, in
Oh
Victoria.
yeah. My
And
God. Yeah.
it's just
It's
crazy. I mean, this is why I
unbelievable.
left Australia, because if I was in Australia, even say, having this conversation I'm having now, I could probably be arrested for something they cook up. So it's just getting really dangerous. I mean, so if you're going to step into this battle, you need to step into it for the right reasons and not do it with an agenda. Do
In
it because
agenda,
this
I
needs to be done. Our
fully
children's
agree.
future depends on the people now standing up and calling things out for what they are. The only way they're going to do that is if they can believe in themselves and realize that all we're dealing with here is people who we elect to act responsibly. They're not. They're all in abuse of office. They're all in breach of trust. They've all abdicated any privilege they ever had to govern, and they need to be called out. But you've got to treat them as people. I'm not speaking to the Prime Minister. I'm speaking to a man standing there in a freaking expensive suit who's fucking
Ex-
up my life and everybody else's life. And we
exactly.
hold him to
Well
account
said.
for that, you
Well
know?
said.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's why I do
Wow. Very well, very powerful words. Very well said. Everybody think that government is necessary, that somehow we need to look up to authority, that they're our so-called leaders, they're your rulers. They are so-called rulers and you're the slaves. That's what people don't understand. And
it.
unfortunately, like you said, a lot of people in the alternative media are very cowardly when it comes to these issues of government. A lot of them they wanna always talk about blame a group of people. It's the Jews, it's the Jesuits, it's them, without not understanding that the entire system based on authority and rulership, the concept of rulership, it's the
The-
problem.
the- yeah, the
You
entire
know?
system is corrupt from the ground up, but not to
Yeah.
not to move attention away from people. There are like people like this whole Jewish influence over our government is horrendous,
Yeah,
and
of
there is
course.
there is a plan to genocide all people of European descent, all genocide all European white countries, called the Kalergi Plan. It was published by these people in
Yeah,
1928.
yeah.
And these are the people who put everybody against each other. They put the Chinese against the Americans. They put the blacks against the whites. They put the Muslims against the Christians. They put everybody, they get in there and they just interfere because they want a lot of the people who want to just kill each other off and
Yeah,
leave it all for them, you know. So I mean that's something you can't ignore. But even just focusing on that cause, which is a huge cause of what's going on, it still doesn't provide any way out. The way out is for people to step into their own power and stop respecting authority when that, we're in a situation where governments are supposed to be there to serve us, but we're locked into an abusive relationship with these people. They're abusing us, they're taking our rights away, they're limiting what we can do, what we can think, what we can say,
yeah,
everything in order to support their own agenda. And it's moving in the same direction in every single country on earth. So stop thinking that all the other countries are your enemies and you need your government to protect you from all the other governments. As I said in my first film in 2008, there's a war going on. World War III has already started. It is a war that is being waged by the governments and banking system and the control system of the world against the people of the world, all people in
yeah,
all countries, and all governments are working together. You can't
yeah,
think of it as like the United Nations and all these different countries. What I often describe it as is a multinational, multi-generational criminal cabal masquerading as a system of governments and nations that
yeah.
is waging war against the people and enslaving the people and putting all the people off against each other. That's
Exactly.
what's
Divide
going
and
on.
conquer strategy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. But they all work together. I mean, people think, Russia's the bad guy, Russia's the good guy, whatever. They're doing the same things in Russia with the vaccine and the digital ID and all. It's the same thing in America, in
Uh-huh.
Russia, in India, in every country, in
In every
Australia.
country,
Doesn't matter.
Iran. People think that Iran
Iran,
somehow against
exactly.
the Israel. They all puppets. They controlled by the same people. They just
Exactly. And
open to
all doing the same
dialectics.
thing. They're all
Yeah.
doing the same thing. All the digital ID, all the smart grid, all technocracy, every single country on earth. What do you really seriously think these people are enemies fighting each other? No, no. We're the
The
enemies
people
and
are,
they are fighting us, you know?
yeah. The members of the ruling class of the so-called alleged countries, they have animosity, uh, fighting against each other. They're supposedly fighting against each other. They're actually friends with each other behind the scene.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
just as it's a show for us, so they can put the Jewish people, the actual more people that who are against the Zionist regime, against the so-called Muslim people,
Yeah, yeah.
fighting against each other. That's what they're doing.
Everybody,
The so-called members of the ruling class. That's what people don't understand.
yeah, yeah.
And
Everybody
it's sad.
against each
Look at the
other.
genocide in Gaza and all of that. People don't understand that it's the Satanists using the Zionist ideology to manipulate the Jews so they can get the project in Israel for the so-called the Greater Israel project
Yeah, yeah,
happening
well,
in the Middle East and etc.
I
You
don't think
know,
Israel will survive what it's done in Gaza. I mean, it's the most hated nation on earth at the moment.
yeah, of course,
But
yeah, it
but
has to
people
be.
got to understand, even looking at that, I mean, it's horrendous. I've spent a lot of time talking about Gaza and the Palestinian people for the last 2 years, to the point that people are probably sick of me talking about it. But it's a genocide and it's going on.
Yeah,
What's causing it is a loss of self. What's causing it is our non-belief in ourselves. We see this going on, and there's massive protests all around the world. Tens of thousands of people marching in Australia and in San Francisco, and you're everywhere. Tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, probably millions of people marching through the streets with Palestinian flags. I'm going, well, where are you marching to? What are you doing? Why don't you understand that the fact that you've got to petition your government to stop this would indicate that your government is supporting a genocide. Therefore, they're in abuse of office. They're in breach of trust.
exactly.
They've indicated their privilege to govern. Don't march in the street. March to Parliament House and tell them to come out of the building and explain themselves. And if they can't, then fuck off. We'll put in new government. That's what needs to happen. They're just people. They don't have any right of authority over you. And if they ever did, they've abdicated that privilege. They're supporting a genocide. I mean, how do you get this into people's minds? Stop thinking that you're a little person. You're not. There is no such thing as a little person. It's just your belief that you can't do anything and that these government people are special. No, they're freaking
Yeah.
criminals. Look what
Yeah,
they've
the
done
belief in
every
authority. I don't
fucking
even
country
think
in
that
the
we
world.
need a government. I think
Yeah,
humans can well live in an anarchical society if if they understand what government is and if they understand what anarchy really is, not the
Yeah,
nonsense
you know,
that people are being brainwashed. I don't
yeah,
even think that putting a new government is the solution. I think having authority over other people is the problem.
you
But
know,
yeah,
it
people.
is, but unfortunately, we're in a position where most people are dependent upon supermarkets, they're dependent upon cities, and they're not spiritually or psychologically aware enough or even educated well enough to know how to govern themselves. So, you know, we do need to get rid of this criminal class that has taken over, but we need to put some form of interim government in there to at least have one generation or possibly two generations of proper education for people so they understand what reality is all about and what they're, like real education, understand what your relationship with government is. These are just managers of infrastructure because we have these things called cities, we have trucking, we have shipping, we have all sorts of stuff. But each country needs to, put in a proper education system, teach people to get back in touch with their life skills. And the more life skills you've got and the more community you build around you, then the less you even need government. But unfortunately, it would take a generation or two. I mean, if we just threw them out of the building, it'd just be chaos and so many people. Like, imagine the United States or London or something like that. If there was nobody there telling the people what to do, and suddenly the food trucks stopped flowing. So we've got to look at things realistically. But I believe that the only reason we've even got here is through this loss of self, which has been educated into us to believe that we're just little people when we're not. And we've got this criminal class which is literally milking us dry through taxes and all the stuff they're
Mhm.
doing. And now it's flooding all of our countries with people that have never integrated into our societies, which is
Yeah,
all
it's
being
done
done.
deliberately. It's part of the
Oh,
communist
absolutely.
ideology,
Absolutely.
globalism and communist takeover. Yeah,
Yeah, and you can blame it on whoever, whatever ethnic group you want, and blame it on it because they're Pakistanis or because they're Islamic or because they're this or because they're no, it's because they were just brought in here in mass and they never integrated. Normally, when you immigrate to another country, you integrate into that society.
of
These
course.
people
Yeah.
just been brought here in mass and given no rules. And here's plenty of money, here's housing, just go for it. And it's a different culture, and this has been done deliberately in all Western countries.
To destroy the cultures of every continent. This is how you bring a communist society where people don't have the national and cultural identity, as
Yeah,
opposed to a nationalistic approach, which is
yeah,
both of false dialectics anyway. But
yeah.
that's
You
their
know,
agenda. It's done deliberately. They control both sides. You
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
the Zionist sex is one of the aspects of the big cult and big control system, but I wouldn't say it's the totality, but it's a huge aspect, obviously. And I would argue that the so-called Jews are pawns on the game as well. Those are
Well,
puppets
there's certainly
used there.
pawns of evil. But their plan is to, like, they want to bring about their new Messiah and all that sort of stuff, and they want to
Mhm.
destroy Amalek. They have to destroy Amalek in order to do that. And Amalek is all non-Jews. Even what is a goyim? They say openly they've got to destroy all the goyim. Well, what is a goyim? A goyim is a non-Jew. And there's
Yeah,
a
the
reason
so-called
these people have been kicked
Gentiles,
out.
the
Well,
so-called
there's a reason
Gentiles.
these people have been kicked out of 109 countries 1,030 times in the last 2,000 years. And that's no exaggeration. And there's a reason for that. But they just sort of continue with their stuff. And now they're virtually in control of the United States. Every war that's been fought by the United States and Britain since 1948, since World War II, has been fought for Israel. It's crazy. So, the United States is turning into a third world country due to the amount of aid that it's sending to Israel so they can go and murder children, which is what
Yeah,
they're doing in Gaza. They bulldozed 8,000 olive trees in West Bank. I mean, it's incredible how many people they've killed, the babies they've killed. They play shooting games with children. 83%, according to their own figures, 83% of the people killed in Gaza are civilians.
children, civilian. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
People
and
they
it's
say they're
crazy.
killing out Hamas, but then it's none of that.
Hamas
It's
is
the
anybody who fights back against their terrorism. Uh,
it's a political. I think it's a Islam. It's a Palestinian military resistance. That's what Hamas is. It's
well,
not
it's
even a
just,
terrorist
it's just, yeah, it's
organization.
just, it's just a civilian resistance. It's just people fighting back against 80 years of oppression that they've been put under. That's what's going on. I've been there, and these are the kindest, most gentle people you will ever meet. Out of all the countries I've
Create,
been to, which is over 70 countries, I've been to Palestine. I snuck into Gaza Strip in 2012, and these were really kind, gentle, beautiful people. Nothing like what the world is being told they are. No, the real terrorists are the Israelis.
the Israeli, yeah, the
Cowards.
Zionist gangster,
Yeah,
violent
the cowards.
gangster.
They only know how to kill women and children. They don't know how to fight a real war. I mean, it's disgraceful what's going on. But again, it's exposed all of our governments. It's rendered all of our governments. Any government that is supporting this or not speaking out against it is a criminal government. So there's no reason for anybody to give them any credence or respect their authority at all anymore. And that's a huge thing for the world because under their own law in all of these countries, like in all countries that are supporting Israel, under their own law in that country, you can't support war crimes, and all these politicians are. So how are they valid? So that's a huge opportunity for humanity that's been given to us by the people of Palestine and by the Israeli forces. They've opened this can of worms if people would be prepared to look at it that way, you know?
Yeah, I agree. I agree. But even the so-called Israeli government, those are puppets on the game. They're all pawns the game. They have owners as well. That's like the Zionists and all of that. They have puppets as well. It's a very big agenda. It's very difficult for people to see it through. It's a chess game. I
Hmm.
think the so-called controllers, they control all sides, all factions.
So,
And they in based of the agenda they want to carry out, they use that faction that will lead them um, to a certain goal, to a certain destination for them to use. They use their faction or their puppets based on what they want. They're trying to achieve. It's a chess game, you know.
yeah, but it's, depopulation is the agenda.
The agenda,
Depopulation.
yeah, yeah.
And they just like it. I mean, it's a big game to them. They like playing people off against each other. They like when societies turn to chaos, so they can sit back and watch. It's like getting an ant nest and poking a stick into it and watching them all fight each other.
Yeah, it's
So
frustrating.
it's a game to them. The amount of children that go missing every year. I mean, there's so much going on behind the scenes that people can't see. And even a lot of this genocide and a lot of stuff they're doing is just to keep you distracted, keep you worried about everything. So long as you don't look within yourself and discover your own personal power or unite with the people around you, as long as you hate the guy next door because he's this or he's that or he's different to you in some way, that's what they want. So, we've got to really step above it. And again, for anybody you want to blame, whether it's the Jews or the Jesuits or it's some hidden force behind that, ultimately it's us. It's our tolerance of wrong behavior, which is the problem. We have to deal with that, and we've been given a huge opportunity to deal with that because what's happened in Gaza and the support that the politicians have given it has shown that all of our governments are criminals. They're all invalid. This is one of the greatest opportunities for freedom we've ever had because they've rendered themselves completely irrelevant by their actions and their failure to stop this. We're having a live stream genocide on TV every day. Israel just today blew up a hospital, blew up some guy in a hospital, and then when the rescue team came to get them, they blew
They
up the rescue team live
bomb
on
the
TV.
more
Now you
trash
see
than
the
that.
images of inside the hospital. It's disgraceful.
Yeah,
Look what
yeah.
Israel's doing. So all of our governments are supporting this. Donald Trump's a war criminal. The people of the United States should stand up, march into Parliament House, and just drag these people out and institute new government, as it says in their constitution. They've way overstepped the mark. And so this is an opportunity for all countries to see this and for the people to realize the power that they have. So that's what I'm hoping happens from this anyway.
Yeah, but things are getting worse and worse by day. Look at what's happening. I just heard that Trump is putting the National Guards in many cities
Yeah,
across the United States, and a lot of people cheering for the whole.
cheering it
We're
on.
very happy for our President Trump to ensure safety and security across
Yeah,
the country to drive the crime down. So there's not gonna be no crime anymore. So no violent people. You don't get it. It's all been set up on purpose so they can institute a police state in the United States with the
yeah,
it's not that difficult. I still don't understand how people cannot see it through. It's
Yeah.
frustrating. And people, when you tell them, oh, they're trying to institute a fascist and a
Yeah. It's
totalitarian
because
regime in the United States, no, no, it's not true. They always do it under the guise of security and safety, folks.
yeah, yeah.
It's not that
But
difficult.
it's because it's Trump. No one else could get away with it. Look, the Trump, the MAGA people out there are completely brainwashed. This guy was saved by God. He almost got shot in the ear. It was so staged.
Exactly.
So staged, and it's Trump, and like this is why they changed the laws in the United States about 4 or 5 years ago, so that anybody who steals anything less than $1,000 worth, don't even worry about reporting it or calling the police or anything. That's how you've got groups, gangs going into stores and just trashing it and taking, because they're taking under $1,000 worth of stuff. So they don't even report it to the police. So just open it up for crime. So now we can have Trump come along and bring out the National Guard to save them all from the crime. What a great guy he is. I mean,
Yeah,
it's so
exactly.
sad.
But and people don't even understand. They want to blame, oh, it's just black people. You don't understand. It's a epi eugenics agenda. They target certain ethnical group and minority, so you can blame them. Say, oh, it's them doing. When you point the fact is the people. Is the people behind the manipulating the so ethnical group, so they can put people against each other, fighting against each other. Black people
Exactly.
against white people, Muslim against Jews and whatever, Christians,
Yeah.
and all of that. They don't understand. It's very
Yeah.
painful. People they don't see it through. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? A
Yeah.
lot of problem in the black community, for example, in the United States, did not happen during the segregation era. It's done deliberately. The institution, the so-called
Yeah.
instilling of the welfare system and all of that, the destruction of the black family. People don't understand it's done deliberately. It's a
Yeah.
chess game. It's even having the segregation um, society back in the 20s, it was done deliberately. It
Yeah.
was set up that way. So for the future agendas that are happening now, people don't understand all of this.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy, but you're absolutely right. It's all completely deliberate, the whole thing. I mean, it's been a long time setting it up. But yeah, it's all been done deliberately. I mean, the whole like you can trace this back where this really started. This plan to move the world into what it is back to back like the 1840s or the 1850s was when all sorts of dominoes started getting put in place, and through World War One and World War Two and everything that's happened since then, the 9/11 attacks, everything, it's all led directly to this point, and all of it has been pre-planned. And even the mixing of cultures, because if you bring a lot of immigrants into a certain country and give them all sorts of government handouts, they're not going to stand up for the national pride of the country. You're not going to have, a lot of people in France standing up to want to overthrow the government because half of them are migrants now. So it takes away people's national pride, people's nationalism, and it waters down the response from the people. Like it waters down the national pride of the people when you bring in lots and lots of migrants. They've all got different agendas, different things they believe in, different religions, whatever. So there's no cohesive response from the public. Once you implement these police states all around the world, you just get discontent, you get revolution, you get crime, you get people fighting on the street because you're a different religion or a different race or whatever. And so then you need more police and more stuff to protect the people. It's all done by design, the whole thing. And all of it just empowers the government. One world totalitarian police state, everybody digitally tracked, everybody digitally traced, digital money, the whole thing. 15-minute cities where you
15
can't
minute
go
series,
outside
yeah.
your 15-minute zone. You go outside in your electric car that Elon wants to give everyone. As soon as you get outside your 15-minute zone, it'll be geofenced. Your car won't work, or it'll turn around and drive you back. You'll find your credit card and your digital cash won't work when you get outside your 15-minute zone. Your face will come up on a meter of scan. Oh, this guy's outside his zone, and you'll be arrested by robot police. Who'll take you off to a re-education centre where you can be properly taught how to fit into society because all there will be desirables and undesirables. That's it. Either you comply or you're an undesirable. We'll take you out to into dog food or whatever, use you in salt mines. This is where it's all going, and this is happening in every single country, and all the governments are involved. And it's so important that the people see this. Like just almost everything else is a distraction from this agenda, which is being rolled out beneath everything else. It's what the jab was about, what COVID was about, what 5G is about, the Internet of Bodies, the Internet of Things. They want everybody online, everybody tracked and traced, everybody locked into this virtual digital system. If you don't comply, you'll be locked out of society completely. You won't have
Mhm.
access to money or to food or to anything, to
Yeah, they
housing.
get in it. They get in it,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
So, I mean, that's where we're going. That's what people need to pay attention to. And the only way to stop it is for people to remember who and what they are and stand up for yourself and stop respecting an authority which doesn't respect you. Like I said, we're in an abusive relationship with a criminal class masquerading as government, and we need to deal with that.
I agree. Yeah. I mean, people, they even the whole concept of authority, that's for people, true free people don't need even an authority over them. Real free people, true free people. This
Hmm.
is another thing that people don't want to hear, but that is the case. And you said you were talking about track and tracing and all of that. Here in the UK, I think few weeks ago, they passed a law where they they're all starting with the porn websites. Now you need the age verification and all of that, but then it's
Hmm.
gonna gradually starting to be implemented in other website, the actual website that they're gonna ask you to verificate your age and all of that to show your ID, your credit card details, and all that shit.
Yeah, yeah. Well, pretty soon, I mean, the only way they're going to be able to make sure they can enforce that, of course, and make sure you are of age to view websites and things is eventually going to be through biometrics. So
Yeah.
you're going to need to have biometrics to even sign onto your computer. I mean, they've got that option there now that you can do it biometrically if you want. Not too many people take it, but soon it won't be an option. That's what you'll have to do. And yeah, they're bringing the same thing in Australia. Like they're doing it all now to protect the children, of course, you know.
Yeah, yeah, of course, yeah, sure. I
Yeah.
mean, people are a bunch of morons who believe this crap. It's obvious what they're doing. And even at the airport, I've been traveling in many places on my way to the UK as well. When I here in Liverpool, you at the airport, you still have the facial recognition technology. You have to put your passport scan and they scan your face. So now this is how you can get back in your so-called homeland, the place that you live in. You know, at the airport, you have the passport and the facial recognition. I mean, it's crazy. When 10 years ago you didn't have all of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. 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 It's nuts, man. It's nuts. And like I was at the airport out of the United States recently and they had that whole biometric thing. I didn't even have to show my boarding pass. Just get to the gate, little camera comes up, takes a picture of me, little green check comes up and the gate opens. I'm like, oh, that's interesting, you know. And this is
And
happening on international flights. It was the same international flight to Australia, international flight here to Croatia, and flying from Australia to the United States. It's international stuff. And even if you go through the cross-border express from Mexico into the United States and you walk across the border, they've still got that biometrics. You've got to stand in front of the camera and get your face snapped. So it's coming in everywhere. So I don't even know much longer I'm going to travel, you know.
wow. So you live in Mexico, right? You live in Mexico.
I live in Mexico, yeah, but I'm in
Oh,
Croatia at present. I came here for a conference in Serbia, sort of next door, next
really?
month, and
Wow.
then I'm flying back to the United States, and then I'll be going back to Mexico. So yeah,
Wow. That's cool. Yeah, I was I wanted to go to LA last next month, but after I saw them putting military everywhere, so fuck all of that because I don't want to be harassed because it's coming. And hey, another news, the National Guard in Washington D.C. They now they can carry guns now. I mean, folks, I don't know what to say. First of all, they were deploying the National Guards across all the major cities in the United States with no guns. Now, Washington, D.C., the National Guard deploying in D.C., they have to have guns now. What does it tell you? I mean, folks, I mean,
Yeah, yeah. It's crazy. I mean, like I said, it's because it's Trump. That's how they're getting away with it. I mean, the whole Trump setup, how he came in and then he was, the bad election, he was chased out by Joe Biden, bumbling old fool, and he was the underdog for so long, and then the fake assassination attempt, and suddenly
yeah,
he's, oh my God,
yeah.
and it's been such a play. I mean, Trump's a great actor. He's got a
Great
whole ramp.
actor, a great
He's been
actor,
in
yeah.
so many reality TV shows and stuff, and World Championship Wrestling. He's got a freaking star on the Hollywood freaking Boulevard. You know,
Boulevard, yeah, Oliver Boulevard,
like yeah,
the Walk
he's
of
got a
Fame, the
star
Walk
there
of
next to
Fame, yeah.
Tom Cruise and freaking Leonardo DiCaprio and shit. I mean, like he's an actor, and he's a damn good actor. And he's the most corrupt president. He's made billions out of insider trading, like the Epstein list. Suddenly there's no Epstein list.
Epstein.
This is one of his whole
You-
campaign things. Oh, we're going to
yeah,
get to the bottom of this. We're going to arrest them all. Oh, no, there's no Epstein list. It was a Democrat hoax.
yeah,
It's
that,
just insane,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
He was trying to say all of this is a hoax.
Yeah,
There is
it's incredible.
nothing to see about all of this.
It's
Yeah,
incredible.
sure,
And
buddy.
he's got this country committing genocide in the Middle East that he's
In a
funding and
minute,
supporting. And Benjamin Netanyahu's been named as a war criminal, and there's a warrant out for his arrest, but they won't, the United States won't arrest him. And he then suddenly Netanyahu, the guy carrying out a genocide, nominates Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize, the guy who's funding the genocide. It's
genocide. Yeah,
insane. And then the other day, Trump said that Bibi Netanyahu's a war criminal. So he said, I
exactly.
know he said he's a war hero. So I guess that makes me one too, because I'm funding this war hero. It's incredible. Like everything's backwards. Everything's backwards. I mean, Trump has got to be the most corrupt president I've seen in a long time in the United States. They're all
Yeah.
corrupt, but he's just doing
Unbelievable, the
it's a
guy.
breeze for him to do this shit. Like he's just so corrupt and he's just being himself. He's a great actor and he's got so many people believing him and he's funding a genocide. He's even saying he's going to turn Gaza into like Mar-a-Lago, the United States.
Mar-a-Lago, yeah, the beach, the nice beach
Yeah, yeah.
is a whole
Gaza, Gaza
in the
Lago.
hotel
We'll
in
move the
Miami, where it
Palestinians
is.
somewhere. We'll move the Palestinians somewhere. They'll have nice homes, good health care. No, they want Palestine. It's their country, for God's sake. You're moving them somewhere. That's called ethnic cleansing, dog.
Ethnic cleansing, exactly, displacing
It's,
the Palestinians out of
I mean, the world
homes.
is it's turned into like a clown show. It's like a freaking circus. It's
They
unbelievable.
dying of laughter when they see people dying. It's
It's
all
unbelievable. And like people are just seeing this, and he's rolling out the National Guard and he's saying, "Thank you for protecting us against the crime," which was all created by legislation government put in. It's unreal. It's unreal.
exactly.
If you wrote the last 5 years down as a movie script, it would be too unbelievable for anyone to want to make the movie. It's insane what they managed to do since COVID. Just 2 weeks to flatten the curve.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
where
We're
we
gonna
are.
flatten the curves.
Look where we are in the last, like since 2019. It's just incredible what they've managed to do.
Yeah.
And what you got people still marching in the street. They're still actually respecting these people's authority at all. Like what the hell has
They
happened to the human race? It's insane.
they still believe that now here in the UK, a lot of people are protesting about the asylum, the migrants in the asylum hotels and all of that. But they want, they still want, they want to remove that clown and trash of Keir Starmer and put a new guy who works for the
Exactly.
establishment as well. The guy, what's
Exactly.
his name? Nigel Farage, a good friend of Donald Trump,
Yeah,
who
he's
supports
he's
Israel
gone out
and the
there and
genocide and
he's
all of
gone out
that.
there and said all the right things in the UN. He's made a lot of really good speeches where you go, yeah, this guy's spot on. But he'll get in
Well,
there and he'll do exactly the opposite. Look at RFK speaking out against vaccines his whole life. And he gets in there. we're rolling out new mRNA vaccines. I think
Exactly.
you have a wearable device. Like it's freaking insane. Donald Trump, I'm going to arrest Hillary Clinton. I'm going to end the war in Ukraine in day one within
Day
24 hours.
one.
Like, it's just insane. No wars under my presidency. And he's just throwing money into war. It's
Was
insane. So, I mean, sure, Nigel Farage, he said some great stuff in Parliament, but once he gets in there, he'll just do exactly the same thing.
yeah,
And that's the
exactly. They're
problem with
gonna call
people.
me, hey,
I
do
don't
this.
like,
Oh,
that's the problem with people. I don't like my current ruler. Please give me a new ruler, you know?
not understanding that the concept of rulership is
Yeah.
immoral. They,
Yeah, I can't take any responsibility for myself. I need someone else to please tell me what to do. It's freaking unreal, you know?
it's outrageous. People they still don't get it. It-
Yeah.
uh, I think it's gonna end up that we're gonna blow ourselves with nuclear annihilation. We're gonna nuke ourselves,
Well,
and
who
they're
knows?
gonna put out. They're gonna put us out of our misery. Because
Yeah.
that's who humanity, quite frankly, deserves. Because it's too wicked. This species, too wicked. This species. They
Something good will come of it. I mean, something good will come out of the other side. I'm sure that whatever happens to this current crop of civilization, which I don't think it's going to go to a good place, but something will come through the other side. We've just got to hope that there's a spark of goodness within that. I think there will be. I mean, a lot of the awake people haven't taken the jab. They haven't, a lot of people are getting out of society and stepping back and kind of watching things from the hills. And, I think whatever does happen, humankind will survive and maybe we'll go to something better than what we've got here now. Couldn't get much worse.
yeah, it's unbelievable. I don't even want to say. So, what do you think about? Ask you a question. What do you think about specifically about certain people in the alternative media? Because I know you had some issues sometimes with some people. You had some I would say some infighting with some of the people. What do you see the state of the alternative media? I know
I
we
think a lot of
cannot.
it is controlled. I think a lot of it is controlled. I don't like naming names and things. There's only a couple of people I've ever spoken ill of because they'd done the wrong thing and I needed to warn people about what they were doing. But I don't particularly like creating infighting within the alternate media.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't really listen to anybody anymore. There's one or two of my friends I listen to their podcasts, and I don't listen to too many people within the alternate media. I mainly look at mainstream media so I can see what bullshit they're feeding the people, and and then comment on that. I'm not really interested in too many other people's opinions of things because I think a lot of the alternate media. I mean, there's good voices in there, and I'm sure there's a lot of good people that I don't know about, but there's a lot of aspects of it that's very controlled, sort of gatekeeping, just keeping
Gatekeeping.
people waiting to
Absolutely.
be saved, thinking Trump's on their side, and and a lot of people seem to have an agenda whereby they're getting a pretty good income out of setting themselves up as an alternate journalist.
They want the money and they want to blame, they want to talk about what's popular instead of what's true. They want
Yeah,
to say, oh,
exactly.
it's the Jews, it's them, it's the Jesuit, it's the Vatican, it's the
Yeah, they're not
Freemason,
prepared to
blame
go
them.
out
Oh,
on
you
a limb.
see, Hitler this, Hitler that, the Allies, this.
Yeah,
Not understand they're all part of the system. That's,
they're not prepared to simply look at things and be honest about it. A lot of them, So I mean, I don't have a lot of faith in the alternate media, but I'm sure there are good voices out there. Like I said, and there's a couple of people that are my friends that I do listen to their podcasts, but I rarely pay much attention to it these days. I mean, you know what the agenda is, you know where we're going. I don't really need to hear other people's opinions of things. I mean, I can kind of see the picture pretty clearly myself. I think so.
very.
And I'm more interested in what the mainstream is trying to feed the people because that shows you how advanced they think their agenda is. So that's kind of what I pay attention. There might be some things people send me which will be of interest, and I'll watch in the alternate media, but there isn't anybody that I particularly follow in there. But by the same token, like I said, I don't like calling out people's names and creating infighting. And I've got bigger fish to fry than people in the open media.
Wow, yeah, I fully agree. Yeah, because even look, at first I used to watch a lot of alternative video, and in my first years on my awakening, around 2020, 21, 22, 23. I used to watch a lot of people in the alternative medium, but then I quickly realized that a lot of them are like you said, they're very controlled. All they give a shit about is viewership and money. They don't really
Mm.
care. They all talk about the nonsense, the crap, all this the Hegelian dialect being played upon them. They still don't understand that all the countries they're having wars between the two
Yeah.
sides are controlled.
Yeah, I think it's the
Politicians,
Democrats doing all these things, and no, no, look, it's all the one. It's all the one. It's a
oh,
uniparty system.
one, it's the big
All
cult
theatre.
they don't understand. Yeah.
The whole thing is theatre. Like I said, it's a multinational, multi-generational criminal cabal masquerading as a group of politicians and nations and countries. They all work together. They all work to play the people off against each other. They all feed them information which isn't important, keeps them worried about this and worried about that, and climate change and this and that, and more laws and more legislation, all that stuff. It's all theatre, the whole lot of it, and it all comes down to a loss of self. It all comes down because people don't believe in themselves enough to stand up and say, hey, look, who the fuck do you people think you are? And what you think gives you the right to do what you're doing. Because
Exactly.
every
Peop
problem we've got on earth today exists because it was legislated to exist, and that's you guys. So you're all in abusive office. This is not what government is supposed to be. So fuck off. That's what needs to happen. So yeah. But we're getting close to the end, I guess, here, because I've got some people coming over soon. So
no
um,
problem, no problem. If you can tell the people where they can find you, so
I've been banned everywhere. I'm banned on YouTube, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on SoundCloud, on iTunes, on like
even
everywhere.
SoundCloud,
SoundCloud,
SoundCloud, yeah.
iTunes, yeah.
Wow,
Like everywhere, Facebook, everywhere. I'm banned everywhere.
wow.
The only place you'll find me is I got a website called thecrowhouse.com, which is an old HTML website, so it doesn't look too good on your phone, so that's good. You can thank me later. And
Mhm.
you'll find my video reports on BitChute, on Odyssey, and on Rumble. Also on Vigilante TV as well.
Vision TV,
Um,
okay.
those are the websites where you'll find my video material. Or you can go to thecrowhouse.com. You can click radio archives, and you'll see the new video posted there, and you can take the link from there if you want to.
Yeah, I've been on
Yeah,
your
the only place
website
you
on the
find.
phone. It works well. It works well
Yeah.
on the phone as well. Your website.
So yeah, but it's an old HTML website. It's not like one of these new WordPress sites. I created that site back in 2007, and it's remained the same since then. So yeah, it's an old style website. But you'll find all my stuff there, or like I said, BitChute or Odyssey. Just search Max Igan, IGAN, or the Crow House, and you'll find me. Watch out for imposters. If you go to my BitChute or my Odyssey or my Rumble and click plus more beneath the video, you'll see links to my X and to my website and to all the places that actually are me. Watch out for other people. Watch out for impersonators on X and Instagram and all this. There's so many people that pretend to be you and start up conversations and then ask you to invest in some Bitcoin scheme or something. None of that's me. So you'll find links to all my stuff below my videos on BitChute, Odyssey, and Rumble. But yeah, thanks for having me on, bro. It's been a good chat,
Yeah,
and I'm
absolutely.
Mira, and I'll link back to
Great.
you.
It's been a pleasure for me to interview you. And great. Maybe I hope to have you on the show in the future, whenever
Yeah,
you
yeah,
have.
we can. When I get settled somewhere, look, I'm traveling at the moment, and then I'm heading back to Mexico, but I don't actually have a place in Mexico at the moment, so I'm kind of a bit up in the air for the next couple of months. But
No
yeah, we'll,
problem.
we'll get back together again, not a problem.
No problem. Thank you very much, Max. Okay. Take care. Okay.
Okay,
I'm gonna stop the recording now. Thank you.
okay.